This is the Bearista Cup, a $44 Starbucks holiday release that was meant to spark cozy nostalgia. Instead, it triggered overnight lines, store stampedes, accusations of favoritism, and a resale frenzy with this cup hit 4 figures online. Starbucks ended up issuing a public apology, and all of this unfolded during the same quarter that the company's closing underperforming stores. Welcome back to the DR Pulse, where we stay on top of the trends, brands, marketing, sales, and business strategies that are shaping the world. Today, we're going to be unpacking 3 moments when Starbucks' holiday magic brewed more backlash than buzz. The Bearista Cup Frenzy of 2025, the Bodum Starbucks Recall, and the Red Holiday Cup Backlash of 2015. By the end, we'll pull out the playbook every brand and agency can use to avoid a very expensive PR hangover. The Bearista Cold Cup launch wasn't just a cute holiday product. It became a moment, a cultural flashpoint that showed you what happens when hype outgrows control. For years, Starbucks has mastered the art of seasonal collectibles. The holiday cups, the cozy merch drops, the sense of shared ritual. People don't just buy Starbucks in December, they experience it. And the Bearista Cup hit perfectly in the middle of the TikTok cute core wave. Soft nostalgia, cozy energy, holiday comfort. The 20-ounce glass bear wasn't just drinkware. It was a personality, a badge, a quiet flex of I belong to this tradition. But the rollout didn't feel like a tradition, it felt like a scramble. People lined up before sunrise, doors opened and crowds ran. Shelves cleared in seconds. Video showed customers arguing, store teams overwhelmed, and accusations that employees were holding inventory for friends or resellers. And the resale market exploded, a $44 cup selling for $200, $400, or even $1,000+. The sellout wasn't the problem here, it was the experience. Starbucks' holiday brand is built on warmth, familiarity, and emotional safety. When that turns into competition, people feel pushed out of their own ritual. And that's where the backlash came from. Not necessarily the price or the scarcity, but the sense of being shut out. So when Starbucks said they underestimated demand, it didn't land as strategic or empathetic, it sounded late. The real issue here wasn't inventory, it was the story around it. When fans don't understand the plan, hype feels manipulative. When drops feel unfair, loyalty breaks. And when belonging turns into frustration, your biggest supporters can become critics. Real hype isn't created by making things harder to get. It's created by making the people who love you feel seen first. But scarcity backlash is only one kind of brand damage. What happens when the problem isn't disappointment, it's real physical risk? The Bodum Starbucks recycled coffee press seemed like a perfect idea on paper. Sustainable, well-designed, and co-branded with a partner known for quality. But when the product started causing injuries, the issue wasn't just about a faulty part, it was about trust. Because here's the thing, when a product carries the Starbucks name, customers don't separate responsibility. They don't say this was Bodum's fault, they say Starbucks let this happen. And the recall was handled quickly and professionally. The announcement was clear, the communication was calm, and the replacements were offered. But the story that spread wasn't about the fix, it was about the harm. Headlines focused on injuries, hazards, and danger, not resolution. And once safety comes into question, even briefly, it leaves a mark. This is the quiet truth of co-branding. You don't just share shelf space, you share risk, you share blame, and you share the speed at which trust can break. Operational decisions are marketing decisions. If your logo is on the product, your reputation is on the line long before launch. But not every Starbucks controversy was about physical risk. Some were about meaning, about what a simple cup symbolized. These were not the coffee chain's first fails, and it certainly won't be their last. Starbucks' 2015 Red Holiday Cup controversy is a perfect example of how a simple design choice can turn into a cultural flashpoint. The minimalist red cup was meant to declutter and modernize their holiday aesthetic, but it collided head-on with America's polarized media climate. Some critics claimed the lack of Christmas symbols was an attack on the tradition. Others defended Starbucks as being inclusive and modern. Almost overnight, a cup became a cultural Rorschach test. Everyone saw what they wanted to see. And here's the irony. Starbucks' intent was never anti-Christmas, it was anti-clutter. But on the internet, intent doesn't drive the story, interpretation does. Fox News commentary, YouTube debates, and hashtags like Merry Christmas Starbucks fueled the outrage cycle. What started as a design simplification became a lesson in how brands no longer control the meaning of their own messages once culture gets involved. Starbucks didn't reverse the decision, they didn't issue a bigger public explanation, they just quietly adjusted. In later years, holiday cups reintroduced subtle festive details paired with messaging that felt broader and more inclusive. They didn't retreat, they recalibrated. Every design choice says something. Even removing something says something. In cultural flashpoints like this, neutral doesn't feel neutral, it feels unclear. 3 scandals, 3 years, 3 lessons. Different triggers, same truth. This isn't just coffee drama, it's a brand masterclass waiting to happen. When you strip away the details, the merch frenzy, the product recall, the design controversy, all 3 moments point to the same core issue: mismanaged expectations. Starbucks didn't break because of a cup, it broke because of the experience people expected but didn't match the experience they got. Starbucks built its entire brand on reliability, ritual, and emotional warmth. It's not fast food, and it's not even just caffeine. It's a daily moment where life slows down and everything feels familiar. So when any part of that ritual cracks, the reaction is bigger than the incident itself. The Bearista Cup highlights access, because when hype outpaces fairness, people stop feeling included. Scarcity should feel like a privilege, not punishment. The moment customers start competing against each other, the ritual becomes stress, not comfort. The Bodum Recall is assurance. When safety fails, trust fractures instantly. Starbucks' name on the product means Starbucks stands behind it. One defective press doesn't just break a product, it breaks the subconscious promise that Starbucks means quality. The red cup controversy is about alignment. Symbols move faster than brand messaging. What you meant matters less than what people decided you meant. You don't control meaning anymore, the internet does. Together, these moments show the 3 dimensions of modern brand risk: emotional, functional, and cultural. And Starbucks felt all 3. But here's the other side of the story. Starbucks recovered. Why? Because the brand is built into people's routines, and habits are powerful. When you're part of someone's everyday life, trust can bend before it breaks. The modern brand isn't a logo. It's a relationship, a constant negotiation between what you intend and how people interpret it. So the question isn't whether Starbucks will face another moment like this. It will. The real question is whether the rest of us are ready when it happens to our brands. Let's break down the playbook every brand needs before hype, safety, or symbolism collide. Match hype with supply. Scarcity marketing only works when managed like an event, not a gamble. Brands must map drop cadence to actual fulfillment data, implement purchase caps by region, and establish post-drop transparency such as more units shipping in week 2 in order to maintain trust. Safety over speed. Co-branding magnifies visibility but doubles liability. Agencies should conduct dual-stage QA and mock recall simulations before launch. If your name's on the box, assume full accountability at all times. Culture is context. Every design lives inside a conversation. Run meaning audits, cross-functional reviews where marketing, comms, and DEI voices stress-test messaging for unintended readings. Communicate like a human. The Bearista apology worked because it was concise and emotional. The next step is proactive empathy. Brief your baristas, prep your social teams, and respond in real time with clarity and warmth. Protect loyalists. Turn hype into loyalty architecture. Reward members with early access, digital queuing, or surprise drops. When fans feel prioritized, scarcity becomes satisfaction, not sabotage. Hype without humility collapses. The best marketing strategy is sustainable excitement built on credible execution. Because every headline hides a blueprint, and if you can decode Starbucks' missteps, you can future-proof your own. Let's bring it home. The Bearista Frenzy showed how fast joy flips to fury when access fails. The Bodum Recall proved that safety is brand oxygen, and the Red Cup saga reminded us that symbols speak louder than statements. Hype can always spark attention, but only strategy builds endurance. I'm Rob, and this is the DR Pulse. If this breakdown sharpened your playbook, hit like, subscribe, and drop your take. Which risk would you rather manage? Scarcity, safety, or symbolism?